Good afternoon, everyone. Today, me and my group are going to present to you guys our capstone project for our agency, Urban Paradise Guild. Without further ado, I'm going to present to you guys the members of this group, which are Lunic Dorceles, Ray Jarius, Tarek Chavis, Wayla Herrera, and me, Janet Cueto. Before we get into more depth into our project, I'm going to present to you guys our problem statement. Problem number 1 will be the lack of volunteers. Since Urban Paradise Guild is a non-profit organization, sometimes they struggle to find volunteers, since many people rather have a paid job than to volunteer their hours for free. Thankfully, Urban Paradise Guild has partnered up with some amazing institutions like Miami-Dade College and other universities who have implemented the mandatory community service hours to help agencies like this. Problem number 2 will be the coronavirus pandemic. Since we all know the pandemic started in March and is still continuing today in December, and this means the suspension of all in-person activities where there's groups. This means that Urban Paradise Guild had to cancel every single volunteer activity that they have planned for their volunteers. Problem number 3 will be the incorrect usage of social media. Urban Paradise Guild does have social media such as Facebook and Instagram. Now they do a very poor job at it. They don't post very often, they do not tag places, they do not use their stories, and most important, they do not have the business feature turned on, which can help tremendously to get to know your followers. And they do not use the Facebook advertisement, which sometimes is free, us as little as $1 for a promotion that can reach to so many people. If they change all of this, they can reach out to so many great people that will be interested in this agency, and they probably could recruit a lot of more volunteers for when they come up with the remote volunteer opportunities. Without further ado, I'm gonna pass it over to Tarek Chavis, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Janet. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tarek Chavis, and what I'll be going over is methodology and statistics. For the methodology of our research, what we did an interview with the UPG founder and president for the company. During that interview, we discussed all problems that he was having with the company at the time and any possible solutions that they can do to improve the company when it came to volunteers and social media. We also went through the official and unofficial records for the company and found that they had a big decline when it came to how many volunteers they have on hand, how often they get volunteers. We also looked into online resources such as articles from journals, newspapers, and magazine companies, which provided us data on how businesses can improve when it comes to social media strategies and have more volunteers on hand. We also did an observation on social media operations to see how successful the company's social media pages were at the time and what we can do to improve their social media strategies. For statistics, we found that the volunteer numbers were decreasing. In January, they had 300, March 100, and June being 30. So it's going downhill, and we provided them with strategies that can improve. For social media, the posts were very old. Facebook being May 14, Twitter March 17, and Instagram February 10th. So we provided them with strategies and solutions that they can use to improve the company. For statistics, I looked into how many nonprofit organizations have a Facebook or Twitter or social media page, and as you can see, majority of the biggest nonprofit organizations have social media pages and Facebook pages. And that concludes my methodology and statistics, and I'll be transferring it over to Lunic.
Thank you for the introduction. Some of the solutions that we thought that would be highly effective for UPG are obviously following the COVID-19 guidelines. That's first and foremost. But actively using the social media page, utilizing volunteermatch.org, as well as creating remote volunteering options. The reason why we thought about utilizing this, actively using the social media page, is because we wanted to create a community interaction with people. The more people know, the more informed that they are about the opportunities that there is in their city or their town to volunteer. So that could help create a buzz for UPG, as well as the remote volunteering option. We felt that because of COVID-19, it makes people a little bit more hesitant of going out there, being in close contact with people. But if there's something that someone could do from home, they'll be more than willing during their spare time. But they're also they're in the comfort of their home, but they're also helping out the community. So I think that's what we thought would be a great something that we could add to the UPG that could really benefit it. Also, volunteermatch.org, people always are willing to help out there. So if we could put UPG on that platform, so now if someone is from out of town or in town for whatever case is, and they want to help out this particular community, they can by simply going to that page. So that's why we thought that utilizing the volunteermatch.org by getting ourselves into that platform will really be highly effective. Now, in regards to the COVID-19, I'm going to pass it on to Mr. Herrera, who's going to speak about that and how we can implement that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsalis. My name is Wayla Herrera, and today I will be talking to you about COVID-19 and COVID-19 guidelines to follow. COVID-19 is a virus that spreads from respiratory droplets from coughs, sneezes, or even just talking. As of September 6, there has been 650,000 cases and 11,000 deaths in the state of Florida alone. As of right now, we're passing over 1 million cases and 19,000 deaths. This is according to floridahealth.gov. Older adults who are past their 60s and people with pre-existing health conditions are at higher risk. Because of this, me and my team have built a set of guidelines that Urban Paradise Guild should follow in order to ensure a safer environment for both volunteers and staff members. Firstly, everyone should stay at least 6 feet apart at all times. Everyone must wear a mask at all times that both cover their mouth and nose. There should be a habit of washing hands for at least 20 seconds with hand soap. If hand soap is not present, hand sanitizer is the next best solution. Both of these items should be present to every volunteer and every staff member. Lastly, if a staff member or volunteer is feeling sick, it is advised that they are told to stay home in order to prevent the spread to other volunteers and other staff members. Thank you. I will now be passing it to Mr. Marty Segan to conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. We believe that it is crucial for Urban Paradise Guild to be using our suggested solutions. With the COVID-19 pandemic raging on and bringing about increased connectedness of people online, our solutions will solve, if not remedy, the situation plaguing the organization. UPG needs to address the problems of decreased participation and low social media interaction if they want to relive experiences such as this picture. Our methods of utilizing volunteermatch.org and creating remote volunteer opportunities such as online donations are easy enough to implement without the need for much financial stress. Furthermore, with other organizations having implemented such solutions and proving viability, the chances of recovering from low numbers of volunteers are high. Thank you for listening to our presentation. If there are any questions, feel free to ask one of our group members. If you work together in tangent with our suggestions, Urban Paradise Guild will be able to accomplish their mission in transforming the landscape of Miami. Once again, thank you.